Let's do our output controls first. This gives us a list of things that we can do, that we can tell the computer to do, okay? And this might give you a little bit perspective. Just starting at this top one, this AC relay on and off. If you have an air conditioning problem that the AC clutch does not engage, one of the last things on your mind might be to put a scan tool on the car. Truthfully, the first thing on my mind is to put a scan tool on the car. Well, sort of checking pressures in the system. So if there's pressure in the system and that clutch is not coming on, my next thought is putting a scan tool on this and commanding the clutch to turn on. So this AC relay, that's what I would do. And in this case, if I click on that, notice up top that I have this on-off button now that I didn't have before. You guys haven't seen this yet. If I click on the computer, the scan tool is going to tell the engine computer to turn the AC clutch on, and it bypasses the other inputs for the system. An AC compressor would be controlled by a relay, and that relay would be controlled by your engine computer. Okay? So this, I'm not going to draw the internals, just keep the diagram generic. There are certain inputs that this computer is going to need to turn the AC clutch on. So we would call this side an output, we call this side our inputs. You guys that had air conditioning, what are some inputs involved in whether or not to turn that AC compressor clutch on? Temperature would be one. If our ambient temperature is too low, there's varying sensors for that. We'll just kind of keep it generic. So I like that. We'll call it our ambient temp in some way, shape, or form. These are done with pressure sensors too. If the temperature's too low, the pressure's too low, and it's really pressure that won't turn the clutch on, but we can say ambient temperature. I like that. Same thing, you're saying, so amount of refrigerant. Now we're talking about pressure. Let's throw that in there. AC pressure or system pressure. And again, we'll keep this generic. We don't have to be specifics on the inputs, but that would certainly be another one. What else? You got to press something. That is an input. Very good. So we have an AC, what we would call an AC request in some way, shape, or form, whether that's the defrost button that automatically turns it on, or if it's a button on the dash as separate AC. We'll throw two more in there. Two more that I'm thinking of that would be involved with the engine computer system on not necessarily turning the clutch on, but when would we want to turn it off? Okay, yeah, there's an evap temp sensor. If it gets too cold, we don't want it to ice up. That actually wasn't what I was thinking about, but we could throw that in there. Evap temp. So we need another one then. More power. So what input would that be for more power? In other words, shut the clutch off because I want more power. TPS. Throttle position sensor. TPS at wide open throttle is the computer's going to shut that clutch off regardless of anything else going on, because we have a horsepower drain from that clutch and we want that eliminated so we can get out of the way of this Mack truck that's about to run us over. One more. It's the coolant sensor. And the reason why the coolant sensor would be there is if the car's overheating, we don't want that clutch running. It's an extra load on that cooling system. We have that hot condenser in front of the radiator. We need to shut this AC off. So it'd be an engine coolant temp sensor. You know, and there's other ones, but look at the ones we have listed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 different inputs involved in the AC clutch circuit. And when you approach this, if you're working on this system and you have good pressures in the system, your focus is on the clutch. This is my clutch over here, okay? And we have a power and we have a ground. And so what are you going to do? Where do you go? Where do you start? You know, there's a lot of different directions, and there isn't one way to attack this, but what I'm looking for on any diagnostic process is I want to find, and you'll hear this a lot from me, I want to find a section in the road, say I'm traveling this way, and I want to find a test that will put me either going this way or going this way, because what I can do when I figure that out is I can narrow down my window of focus on what my possibilities are. And this is always my thought process going into this. A scan tool bidirectional test is where we want to possibly start. It's not where you're going to start. I'm not saying you must start here. I'm saying use the tool that's in front of you to its fullest and know that what the tool does can help you here. If I take this car that the clutch will not turn on, and I'm jumping ahead, hold on, time out. Do you understand that our problem can be on the input side? Our problem could be on the computer itself. It could be on the output side, meaning that I have powers and grounds through all this wiring. There's a lot more wires that are missing in here that I have not drawn. There's a lot of checks, right? So what is my fork in the road here? Do I have an output side problem or do I have an input side problem is what the bidirectional test is going to tell me. So I'm right here, and the test that I am going to do right here is my scan tool bidirectional, okay? And if I command this, and where's the scan tool at? It's right here. We're interfaced with the computer. My scanner's down here. And what I'm gonna do is tell the computer, hey, turn that AC clutch on. When it does, it should. If that AC clutch over here turns on, how is everything from this side over? It's good. Leave all your test light and voltmeter, all that other stuff in the toolbox for that entire output side. Have we just eliminated a ton of checks? All right, so if you do that test and you command this AC clutch to turn on and it still does not turn on, let's put that same line here. We're not worried about anything over here anymore, are we? How cool is that? So how powerful is a scan tool with bidirectional controls? Yeah, this is it. And not just flat rate. Think about my mobile diagnostic business I have. I charge these garages a flat fee for the first hour. So whether it's 2 minutes or 60 minutes, it's the same fee. I want to get these cars done 5 minutes a piece. So if I could go to a garage and I can work on 3 cars in 25 minutes and have them all done, I'm happy. It's a good day. Speed is money, you know, and accuracy too. We want to be accurate. So that's just an example for an AC clutch. And guys, look, I could take you through every single one of these and give you situations and scenarios where that scan tool in a bidirectional mode is just phenomenal.